background a little bit before we get too deep in it.
Gotcha.
Like,
okay.
Where you from originally?
I've always lived in Oak Cliff.
Yeah, because I always have seen you around, and I mean, a lot of the artists you done broke originally, you know, that was from Oak Cliff, so that's why I was wondering. Then you got your office in a legendary spot, you know, in Oak Cliff, so I was wondering, was that
man, I'm just comfortable here. I've been here my whole life, so even on the mentoring stuff we do, I always have a heart for right here first, because a lot of people think about it being, you know, a race thing, but it's really an opportunity. You kind of, whatever you're around. Hell, I thought I had to sell dope to get enough money to start a detail shop and rim shop. That's what I was stacking for. And I go to prison, I find out I'm in there as white collar people that's teaching me more business than any mentors I had in the street. So
real talk.
I always am just passionate about, you know, this area, you know, and other areas where people don't have exposure to business people, because people make their money and they move out. So kids don't know. They know football players and they know drug dealers. And there's other ways. And
what got you into the youth stuff? Because it feel like, I mean, from hearing originally, I'm thinking you left music away, but I mean, you never was intending to have a label, right?
Nah, well, I've always just, I knew I had to hire myself. Like I knew everybody that was getting out of prison, like if you're going to work for somebody, you were screwed. So it was always like, that was the one industry that having a felony was not even it wasn't even bad. It was like, I ain't killed nobody or you know, done anything crazy. I just went to prison for selling weed. So getting into that field, I was like, there's no so what? I'm like probably got less felonies than any other label CEO. So you know, and I love music, and I love, you know, seeing people. I love helping people with their business grow their concept from a baby to a full-blown thing. So
it's just whatever business model. It ain't necessarily music.
And I love music. So I'm a music fan by heart.
Do you feel like you left the game though? Like as a you know, as the city, looking at the whole scope of the city and labels, do you feel like you just left it alone?
Oh,
like,
no,
is that
not at
something
all.
you put on
Like,
the back burner?
No, like even a lot of the stuff to this day, I still do a lot of behind the scenes stuff with people. But whenever I got out of the record label business, I realized that record labels were gonna have to go in and start, you know, taking publishing and writers credit and sharing stuff too much. And I didn't really need it like that, and I didn't want to go into that part of the game. And then plus putting so much money into the label, it just wasn't a good situation for somebody who wasn't an artist themselves. I felt like, so I didn't, that didn't fit. So I moved from that with, you know, working with Pooca, Leroy, and that movement. I tried management for a little bit, but it was almost like management to me, I was overqualified as a manager. And it's less of a cut, but it's still, you don't kind of control the whole thing. So that didn't fit. So finally, when I came up with agency, it just fit for me to be able to help people with music, help people with their business, help, you know, nonprofits. It just, I found my gift is, you know, identifying what's great, promoting to the world. You know, so helping people name their baby, come up with their baby, promote it, let it, once it gets grown, I step away and let it run itself.
You can't put yourself in one box, and you're not limited anymore. You can work with anybody and do any field.
Absolutely.
So I mean, even when you was just starting early, man, like some of the artists you had on the roster, I mean, you worked with the Nino, you had the big record with Peace, you know, Big Chief was on Clout.
We did a partnership with Pete, I mean, with Big Chief. He was doing his own thing, and he actually tried to come and do a partnership with Powerhouze, and my partner B at that time, after we did those 11 states and 23 cities, is when Southwest Wholesale went out of business. And it lost a lot of our products, so he kind of got a little, you know, upset over that, and you know, and it bothered him that we did that much work and he didn't, you know, see a return, so he was kind of sitting stagnant with it. So I brought the Chief record to him first, and I said, man, this guy's got a buzz, he's, you know, funding his own stuff, he just wants to see me market it. So the first thing on doing that was I brought it, and then B was like, no, I'm not gonna jump him in front of other people. I said, well, I'm gonna put it out under, you know, I'm gonna help him put it out, I'll bring it back when he finishes. And I brought it back, and then that's when I started Clout. And it kind of, when I put that imprint on there, when I put the imprint on there, at first my partner was like, where you gonna run this label from? So I'm like, got my own spot, and we fell out for about 2 or 3 weeks, but we was cool back, you know, talking shit with each other ever since, and I just went my own way.